Oh, hello all. I thought we would update ourselves with the Antarctic sea ice extent and what's happening in the Antarctic, since we've already done the Arctic in previous videos. Okay, let's begin. Arctic sea ice loss. Preliminary data shows hottest week on record. Unprecedented sea surface temperatures around the Antarctic, even in the middle of winter. The record-breaking temperatures on land and in the ocean have potentially devastating impacts on ecosystems and the environment. We are in uncharted territory, and we can expect more records to fall as El Niño develops further, and these impacts will extend into 2024. Global sea surface temperatures were at record highs for the time of the year, both in May and in June. Antarctic sea ice reached its lowest extent for June since satellite observations began, at 17% below average, breaking the previous June record by a substantial margin. Throughout the month, the daily Antarctic sea ice extent remained at unprecedented low values for the time of the year, winter. There was about 2.6 million square kilometers of Antarctic sea ice loss compared to 1.2 million square kilometers in 2022. That is a really big drop in sea ice extent in the Antarctic. Let's look at this chart. Now, let's look at the Antarctic sea ice extent. While 2022 and 2023 had record low minimum extents on record. Let's have a closer look at Antarctic sea ice extent. This is more detailed, so you can really see what's really happening. You know, pictures kind of tell everything, don't they? The charts, the figures, the percentages, it tells it like it is. And this is serious because the scientists didn't believe that Antarctica could be touched any time within the next 100 years. They thought it would be at least 100 years before we would see credible melting of sea ice like this around the Antarctic, especially in winter. Antarctica is extremely cold during the winter. It's extremely cold during the summer, but during the winter it's like 60 below zero Fahrenheit, and that is incredibly cold. And this year we're seeing incredibly warm temperatures all around the Arctic and Antarctic on both poles of the planet Earth. It's really beginning to take shape, global climate change and global heating. And all the naysayers and unbelievers and the non-believers, you guys can just suffer when it comes around, and then you'll start to believe it. But until then, you'll be continuously saying, no, there's no such thing as climate change, when really there is. It is very serious, and we need to do something about it now. And unfortunately, nobody really wants to do anything about it now, because they like having the excitement of watching other people suffer with it. But soon, everybody will suffer. How long before the entire continent of the United States, Europe, Australia, Japan, any other country like China will have an extreme heat day where the wet bulb temperature will be too high and will lose thousands and thousands of people all in one day or night cycle? And it's because we decided not to do anything. We decided to keep everything as is because we didn't want to have any change in our lives at all. So with that, your comments are always welcome. Your ups and your new subscribers. And until next time.